Martin earned his degree in petroleum and natural gas engineering from Penn State and his MBA from Vanderbilt. Martin is chairman and CEO of Baker Hughes Incorporated, an organization where he has worked for the last 40 years. Baker Hughes is a global company and oil field service leader with a century-long track record. From the helm, Martin has led the company with a commitment to sustainability, health and safety, technology development, and an inclusive workforce. He has been honored many times for his work, and tonight it's a privilege to present him with the Alumni Fellow Award.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you, Dr. Behrens. Wow, this is a heck of an honor. My wife and I actually, when we got the invitation, wondered if it was someone just playing a joke on us. Certainly when I walked on this campus, academics wasn't my strength. I certainly want to thank some of the people who had a very big impression on me and where I was able to end up. First and foremost is a fellow who's no longer with us, but was a legend in the oil and gas industry, a man who stood for everything that you would want in a professor, a mentor, and as an industry professional, and that was a man by the name of Carl Sherman. I'm also fortunate to have here at the table with me Dean Easterling and Craighead Erdogan. And Craighead is a world-renowned figure. My wife Pat and I were able to live all over the world as part of the oil and gas industry. And no matter where you go, it's the name Penn State really rings out, as does the leadership within that department, no more so than with Craighead. The other thing I think I wanted to say is I thought about what this university did for me. Besides enabling me to get to the helm of running a $30 billion company and having the privilege of having 40-some thousand employees and having lived all over the world, it gave me perhaps the most important core value of all, which is hard work. Because when I landed here, I remember my mother and father, who were startled that I got here, sitting in an auditorium. And I don't remember, I can't remember yesterday, but I can remember this very clearly. My mother broke down in tears because somebody had walked in, poor advisor, had walked in with those green and white striped computer printouts with all the little X's. And there was a bell curve. And it was, to this day, and I think I told Dean Easterling one time, that is the cruelest thing to do to somebody. But it was a probability distribution of your chance of success. And I remember the young man taking a pencil and pointing to the X at the very pinch out on that distribution curve and saying, this is you. And I wasn't very, academically oriented, so he had to explain the chart over and over again, which only made my mother cry more and more. So it was a pretty tough experience. And then I was placed in all kinds of remedial classes. I shouldn't say this for the petroleum engineering department, should I? But it's the truth. I was in all kinds because my high school education was not adequate. And, but I met people who I admired and who I wanted to be like. And it gave me that work ethic to just overcome all obstacles. So I just want to say that perhaps the greatest gift of all that I got out of this university, it's sure that's the sheepskin and it's the brand of Penn State and it's the engineering degree, but it's really that core value that Pat and I have tried to instill in our children as well, that no matter what the obstacles, no matter what the statistics say, you can do what you want to do. So thank you very much.